Hi, this is Joe with Prep Agent. I'm here with my friend Randall. Randall, how's it going?
It's going well, fine, thank you.
And today I got a third person online named Art who I'm training to do these webinars because as this expands and it's getting more popular, which I'm thrilled about, I need more assistance to provide content for people studying for the exam. How's it going, Art?
Good, thank you, Joe.
And a little background, Art was one of my original students to pass the exam 15 years ago. Right, Art?
Yes, thank you very much. And it wasn't 15, it was 14 to be exact.
14 years ago. And now he's ready to help me help other people get past. But in the meantime, I got Randall, who's going to take his exam soon. But before I get going, let me give myself a little plug here. So if you guys want access to more materials, go to prepagent.com, $40 for full access. Real estate exam questions, audio files, ebooks, outline, vocabulary lists, crosswords, and more, all for $40 to get you past the exam. Pretty good deal, right, Randall?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. And since we're talking about plugs, I wouldn't mind giving Randall a little plug. He's got a great blog named randallrocket.com. I'd really like you guys to check it out. And it's going to be really good publicity and press for him as he transitions to become a real estate professional. So please check that out as we get going with today's webinar. Anything else, Randall, you want to say?
Oh, no, thanks for having me here. I appreciate it. It's been a real pleasure. I've been a fan for the past few months, and I've watched a lot of your videos. So much that I can't even count.
Great. A lot of people watch concerts, but they don't get to go on stage, do they?
That's true.
But
That's
here you
true.
are, ready to go. Okay,
Oh,
so what
yeah.
are we going to do today? So Randall sent me a bunch of vocabulary. And as people watch the webinars know, I approach the vocabulary a little different than I do questions. I try to have a little more fun with it. What we're going to do is on the right, I have a bunch of vocabulary words. You see that, Randall?
Yes, sir.
On the left, you see a lot of definitions. Okay, and we'll mix them up. As you match a definition to one of the words, we'll take it off our list. Okay? Sound good?
All right. Sounds
And in doing
fair.
that, we're going to initiate a lot of conversation and a lot of good learning is going to happen. Ready?
All right. Yes, sir.
All right, so you're a younger guy. You're only what, 21?
Yes, sir.
So I expect a lot of energy and enthusiasm out of you.
Sounds good.
All right? Okay, Randall, let's get going. What
All
word
right.
um, let's start with this on the left. Okay, let's pick a phrase here. I'm going to go with one. Do you want to pick one or shall I pick the first one?
The one that the stroller is on, I'll do that one.
What's that?
The point to the mouse, the one a charge for the use of someone else's money.
Good, so let's
We'll
pick
start
that
with
one.
that one.
Which one's that?
That should be interest, I believe.
Good. Bam. Easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way I like to explain interest is nothing more than rent on money. So that was a fancy way to say it, but essentially rent on money. People like to complicate it, but really that's all it is. You pay to use somebody's property, you pay to use somebody's money. It's just rent on money. Okay, let's keep going right here. Let's
All
get another
right.
word going here.
Hmm. Sole ownership.
Sole ownership. All right, so which one's sole ownership?
Let's see here. Hmm. Uh.
So what do you think? Sole
duh.
ownership.
Yeah, it's a lot of words. I
A
can't
lot of
remember that one
words, a
from the
lot
top
of
of my
words.
head.
Well, part of the challenge here is, and the reason I like doing this way, I would love it in the
Yeah.
beginning. You knew it without seeing those words.
Oh, yeah. That's
You knew the
true.
key words. And as it gets harder, there'll be less words, so it'll be easier to find. So really, it should be for the harder ones. So
That's
sole
the
ownership,
trick.
what do you think?
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, so since we can't get that
Yeah.
one, we're going to come back to that one later. Okay?
All right.
And hence the game goes on. Let me ask you something.
All
What's
right.
it called
Yes.
if we own something together?
I believe it's a joint tenancy.
That's a type of this thing. So basically, what I'm getting at is that's a concurrent estate. A concurrent estate, okay? When two
Joint
people own
tenancy
something
concurrent.
together.
Okay. All right.
What you're talking about is a type of concurrent estate. So you got joint tenancy and tenancy in common, are different types of concurrent estates.
So they're different.
Yeah, so joint tenancy and tenancy in common are different. Do you know what the difference is between those two things?
Well, I know one when somebody dies, the interest, not the interest, the state goes to the living owners, and the other one is when you die, it goes to your heirs, I believe.
You're right, but unfortunately on your exam you can't say one does this and one does that.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's nail that down. Which one has what's called the right of survivorship is the word you're looking for. Here, and let's
Joint
go.
tenancy?
Excellent. So when we look at this here, right of survivorship, so I'm switching slides. Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right of survivorship goes with, excuse my bad spelling,
You're fine, man.
survive. There we go. Right of survivorship goes with joint tenancy. So what's the other one called?
Tenancy in common.
Okay. Now there's 4 unities that make joint tenancy joint tenancy. Do you know what they are?
Hmm.
I'll give you a hint.
Gosh, I heard this one before.
You should have.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah.
That should mean
Yeah.
something to you.
To tip.
Yeah. What does that stand for?
Title, transferability. I know possession is P. I forgot I.
So it's actually time,
Hmm?
title, interest, and the one you got down perfectly just now,
Possession.
possession.
To tip.
Yeah. So that's for joint tenancy, time, title, and possession. Which one of
Alright.
these 4 unities apply to tenancy in common?
Tenancy in common.
So one of these, out of these
Or
4,
not in it.
one of those 4 apply to tenancy in common.
One of these 4 apply to tenancy in common. Possession, I believe?
Bam! Perfect. Nice work. And if you think about it
Thank you.
logically, if you have part ownership to a property, you want to walk in it, right?
Yes.
That'd be possession. So there you go. So nice work. And these are,
Thank
like
you.
I said before, concurrent estates. These are different ways that you and I can own property together.
Sounds good.
Okay? So let's go back to our list here. All right. So let me ask you this. I'll pick one for you. The lender in a mortgage is known
The
as what?
mortgator. The mortgator. 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 I don't know. I've been saying it right.
You,
Mortgagor. Mortgator.
I know, but you're also not. It's not quite right.
Ah,
Who's the lender
the
in a
le-
mortgage?
the lender in a mortgage. Okay. Let's see here. The lender in a mortgage.
Well, let me ask you something. Why did you
The
pick
prince,
mortgagor? What made you say mortgagor?
because well, I can't even say it right, which is funny.
That's fine.
I was thinking that because it was the person giving
So let me
the
ask you this
lender
question then. What is being given?
money.
That's where you're wrong. And that's where it slipped. Okay, but I love that you were thinking about the giving. That was great.
All right.
What's actually be given is the pledge of the property.
Gotcha.
So then with knowing that, then who's the mortgagor?
Present property.
So who's pledging the property?
The mortgagor. Mortgagor. I can't even say it
Mortgagor.
right.
which would normally
Mortgagor.
the borrower. That would be the borrower.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So if I'm the lender, you want to borrow money from me, what would I say to you?
Pay you back.
I'd say, you could borrow money from me, but if you don't pay me, what am I going to do?
You're gonna take the title away and foreclose?
Exactly. So you're pledging that property to me. So therefore, the
Gotcha.
lender in a mortgage is known as what?
The mortgagee.
Excellent. Good. So the lender in that
Mortgagee.
situation would be the mortgagee. Okay.
Gotcha.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I knew that before, but I thought it was the mortgagor, then the mortgagee becomes the mortgagor or something like that. Like it switches. But I
No.
guess it's
Don't make it more
I guess
confusing than it needs to be.
gotcha.
Yeah, stuff's already tough. Okay.
Gotcha.
So now that being said, the borrower who pledges real estate is who?
The borrower who pledges real estate. The mortgagor.
Exactly. So
Mortgagor.
excellent. We just
Mortgagor.
spoke about that. Boom. Nice. Okay.
Mortgagor.
Mortgagor. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little appraisal for a second. What do you think?
Sounds good.
What appraisal approach converts income into value?
Converts income into value. I believe it's the market value?
Nope.
Mm,
So it's on
into
the right. It's
value.
definitely on the right, that answer.
Gotcha. The, 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 um,
What do you think?
out of all of them, the gross rent multiplier?
You're close. That's not it. The one I was
Ah,
looking for is capitalization.
capitalization.
Okay? So the full name of this one here, is actually capitalization income approach. Okay?
Gotcha. And that is for income into value.
Yes, converts income into value. Now you said the gross rent multiplier, right? GRM.
Yes.
What is that?
Um, it's a formula used to divide rent and how much the property is. Then you get the multiplier from both of them.
All right. So let's do that. What do you say? Let's give
Awesome.
it a whirl. Okay?
Sounds good. Pizza. I'll be back real quick.
Okay. Okay, so Randall, so you mentioned gross rent multiplier. Let's take a look at that. Let's actually break this down and do the formula. So how did you say gross rent multiplier works?
It's the what the property costs divided by what you pay monthly, and that
Okay.
equals the gross rent
So I have
multiplier.
my property here. It's a $120,000 property. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you pay $1,000 a month in rent.
Yes.
How do we figure out the gross rent multiplier?
120 divided by 1,000.
Okay, so you go 120 divided by 1,000 equals what?
120.
Okay. Equals 120. All right? Now let me ask
Yes.
you something. Does that look right?
Too high.
Too high. And this is something you can use logically on your exam when you're doing this, because you should say, logically speaking, this wouldn't be right. A property
Correct.
annually would bring in something more like that, which would give you a gross rent multiplier of 10. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, excuse me, a gross rent multiplier of 12. 120,
Yeah,
that's a little more logical. But what if
gotcha.
they gave you this number, and they asked you for the monthly gross rent multiplier, what would you do?
Monthly?
Yes.
Well, you divide that by 12. Divide 10,000 by 12.
Good. Divide 10,000 by 12. Which would be some obscure number. I'll do it on my calculator right now. So we could do this.
$833.33.
Way to go, man. Nice work. What'd you say the number was?
$833.33.
$833. So that actually would be...
Huh? No, 83333.
Okay, good. Boom.
All right.
So now you have 833. And so then it becomes you take this out, put this in there. 120,000 divided by 833.
$144 roughly.
So it wouldn't be $144. That would be
not dollars, 144 roughly.
Yeah, that would be your gross rent multiplier. And if you didn't follow this, for those people watching, I do a really nice video on gross rent multipliers where you can follow a little easier. The thing I wanted Randall to get, which sounds like you do, is the formula is easy. Where people mess up is, are they asking for monthly or annual figures?
Yes.
And that's where people slip on the exam. So it's a really easy formula, but just really look out for its annual or monthly, and just know how to convert things from annual to monthly figures. And if you're confused with this all, look at my video on gross rent multipliers. So that's here, price divided by rent, like you just said. Let's delete that. Boom. Okay. What's commercial to residential? What do you call that?
Commercial to residential, is that zoning?
It's a type of zoning.
Oh, that's not even on there. It's not a choice. Down zoning.
Nice. Zoning's a police power, right?
Yes.
It's one of the government powers, correct?
Correct.
What are the other government powers?
Well, I believe they could, well, zoning is the same as ordinances.
There's
eminent
a
domain.
need to remember this.
Oh, I forgot. Heat. Yeah, I've seen it before.
What does it stand for?
I don't remember the acronym itself.
Okay, I'll help you. The first one you named was police power. Okay. Second
police
one.
Power.
Second one is what?
Eminent domain.
Good. Nice. You do know it. You know more than you think.
All right.
The T is what?
All right. Police power, eminent domain. What's T? Let's see here. I forgot what the T was. Taxation.
And the last E is what?
A sheet.
What's a cheat? So I wrote that one for you. What is it?
When somebody dies without a will.
Good. They have no heirs, so it goes to the state. Good. So police power, eminent domain, taxation, and it's cheat. Nice work. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. So we got that off of there. All right. Is there another one here you want to go over to knock it off our list?
Oh, exception to the rule. Isn't that a variance?
Nice. What's a variance?
Variance is when you go to the courts and request that, for example, oh, well, my house, has this, let's say, new deck, and it doesn't follow the zoning ordinances. Can you please make an exception for me?
Good. Excellent. Yeah, another example is they want the property back a certain distance from the street, but with your property, if it goes that far back, you'll be in a lake. Like, they can't. So you'd petition for a variance, an exception to the rule.
Yes. Yes.
Now, the key thing about the variance is that you're in a unique situation. So the idea of a variance is your neighbors can't be like, me too, we all like that. So to use the example of your deck, you have to express that you're in a very unique situation where you need that exception to the rule.
Gotcha.
Okay? All right. Okay, let's go with another one. Evidence of a transfer, what's that?
Deed?
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Evidence of a
Evidence
transfer is a deed. Good. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's look at another one here. Security instrument signed by a borrower.
Evidence. Sorry.
We actually went over this already.
Security instrument signed by a borrower. Wasn't that the mortgage?
Good. Who's the mortgagor?
A mortgagor would be the person giving the money to the mortgage company.
No.
Let's see here. The mortgagor is the one paying the mortgagee back. Well, we know that.
You're good. You have the right idea, but I'm looking for is they're the ones pledging the property.
No, the mortgagee is pledging the property because they can take it away from you if you don't pay them.
No. So the mortgagor is giving the property as a pledge.
Yes.
The mortgagee is receiving that pledge. And in exchange, they'll lend you money.
Gotcha.
All right? Okay. All right.
Where payments of interest only are made. Mortgage, which I don't know which one you chose. Sorry.
You can pick either one. Either one. Whichever one you want.
Let's do the one's highlighted. Where payments of interest only are made at specific periods. Let's see here. You know, I'm not too familiar with that one.
Okay, let's move on to this one. How about this one?
Which does not fully amortize. Negative amortization?
Nope. So that one, I didn't write this one correctly, but what I'm getting at here is a balloon payment.
Balloon payment?
Yeah. Balloon payment is when you have to pay the balance at maturity. All right?
Balloon payment is to pay balance at maturity.
Yeah, so when the loan is due, there's a big balance to pay. That's a balloon payment. Okay. What's this one? Refers to problems outside the property line.
Economic obsolescence.
Good. You may hear the word extraneous to the property line as well.
Extraneous to the property line. Heard.
Yeah, what are other types of depreciation? So economic obsolescence is a type of depreciation that refers to things outside the property line. What are other types of depreciation?
There's functional obsolescence, which is inside the house or the property area.
So that's this one. So
Yes.
give me an example of functional obsolescence.
Like your driveway is too small and you have an SUV, and it will be nearly impossible to put that SUV in that driveway because that driveway is so small.
Good. Where is that here? That's here somewhere. Ah, this one. The Praise Valley residence, 5 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Good. What's the third type of depreciation?
Let's see, severity? I don't know.
It's not on this list.
Oh. I don't remember the third one then.
That would actually be physical deterioration.
Physical deterioration, gotcha.
Yes, you got functional obsolescence, economic obsolescence, and physical deterioration. Okay?
Gotcha.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Which one of those is the hardest to cure?
Economic obsolescence, because
Why?
you can't control what's going on around you. You can only control your property.
Excellent. So if you have functional obsolescence, you can redesign your property. Physical
Yeah.
deterioration, you do upkeep. If it's economic obsolescence, chances are you move, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Okay. Remember this first one we saw? Are you able to take a better stab at which one that is on that list on the right? Sole ownership.
Hmm.
Now that list is smaller, maybe it's a little easier to see.
No, I'm still having trouble with that one.
All right, we'll come back to it.
All right.
All right. Occurs whenever the loan payment for any period is less than the interest charged over a period so that the balance increases. What's that?
That's negative amortization, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So basically,
Gotcha.
just so everybody understands how this works, if your interest is $2 a month and you only pay $1 a month, every month you're going to owe $1 more, and it increases because your payments don't cover the interest. So your debt will actually increase as you're paying off your loan. Not something people should do.
Gotcha.
Okay. Market value is the most probable price a property will bring. Oh, look at me. Messed that one up. But since we're talking about value, okay, we have this list on the side. What are the 4 essential elements to value?
Wasn't it let's see here.
What's the acronym to help remember the 4 essential elements of value?
Stud? No, that's something else. That's
No, it's not.
something
That's right.
else.
Stop it.
Let's see. Word? Cool.
So what does it stand for?
Scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand.
Excellent.
All right.
Boom. Scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand. Nice work.
Value.
Okay. All right. Let's look at another one here. Independent contractor offers services to a number of different clients. Which one would that be?
So let's see. Independent contractor or different services to different clients. Let's see here. Independent contractor.
So look on that list on the right. All these ones.
Oh man, you see, the independent contractor throws me off a bit. Because I'm thinking like somebody who like services. That's
They
what I'm
do.
thinking.
Person on the right, it's services for sure.
Hmm.
Here, you got 2 choices here.
Gotcha.
Staff appraiser or fee appraiser.
Okay. So we're talking about appraising. Okay. So that will be a fee appraiser.
Good. That's the one you're going to hire when you're selling homes. Typically.
Okay, that's good for me to remember.
Okay. So an in-house employee of an organization like FHA or lending institution or large corporation, that would be the staff appraiser.
Gotcha. So FHA is staff appraiser. I mean, people
Well,
from there.
don't think of it like that. Think of somebody who's on salary who works for a company. That would be a staff appraiser.
Gotcha.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, for property, have value in real estate, it must have. And we just went over this, the 4 elements. So you're looking for one of those 4 elements.
Severity.
No.
No. That's not severity. I don't know what I was thinking. Value. No. Look, property that has value in a real estate market must have supply,
No. What did stud stand for?
scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand.
So which one of those four do you see on the right?
Um, hmm.
You said scarcity.
Transferability.
There you go. And be careful when you read these questions. So I wasn't asking for value. I said for property to have value in real estate, it must have. So it's asking about one of those four elements. Okay?
Gotcha. So it must be transferable.
Right. And so the other three weren't listed, so it's obviously that one.
This may transferable. Yeah, I wasn't even looking right. I was like, what?
Is cost an essential element to value?
Cost an essential element to value. Yes.
Is there a C in stud?
No.
So then
It's not.
there you go. And think about it. Is what I pay for something relevant to what you're going to pay?
Well, I mean, if it's another house on the same block, I mean, the appraiser could help appraise it to the other house.
But you're compared to other houses, not necessarily to what I pay. So for example, if I got my
Mm,
house in, 50 years ago, is that relevant
yes.
to what you pay now?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. And if you build something like your website, okay, that you work on, your
Yes.
blog, the Randall Rocket blog, if you wanted to
Yes.
sell it one day because it got really popular and got a lot of steam, is that price relevant to what you paid to get a domain, a host, and the program to build it?
No, absolutely
No.
not. It's not
So
going to be relevant.
cost is not relevant to the value. Do you understand?
Aha.
So when I put it in those
Gotcha.
terms, it makes sense because whether it's your website or a house, there's a lot of factors going on to it. And when I go to buy your website or buy your house, and if I say to you,
Yes.
"Well, what'd you pay for it?" You're going to say, "None of your business," right? It's not because there's a lot of factors. The effort goes into it, the care, the upkeep, all those kinds of things. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Location of a particular property and people's presence for particular locations is a major factor affecting value. What word on the right goes along with that?
Situs.
That's literally the definition right there. It just has to do with the location of a property affecting value. That's what that is. Okay?
Location effective. Sounds good.
All right. The amount of goods offered for sale within the market at a given time period. What do you think the answer is there?
That'll be supply, I believe.
Dang, nice. Good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Why should I pay more when I could buy almost the same house for new or less?
Oh, so substitution.
Boom, now we're rolling. The principle of substitution. Okay, basically, if you could buy a pair of shoes for $50, if it's the same pair of shoes for $40, you'd substitute the $40 one for the $50 one. And that goes into your appraisal category. This is used if the mortgage is foreclosed in such a case that the court does not bring enough money to pay the debt.
What is a deficiency judgment?
Good. So can you explain that a little further?
Well, I think of foreclosure when it comes to deficiency judgment, because if you don't pay your taxes or pay back the lender, of course you're gonna take away the house.
Right. So you owe me and the tax and all that 100 grand, hypothetically.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Where does the deficiency judgment come in?
When I don't pay for months, and
I'll make it simpler for you. How
yeah,
does the lender get his money back?
um, gets his money back. I know there's a.
Well, what is
Let's
a
see here.
foreclosure? So if you don't pay me, what do
Yeah.
I do to get my money back?
Oh, close on a house and sell it and get the money back. or
So
somebody else.
you owe me 100 grand. What if your house isn't worth 100 grand?
I
That's where the
believe.
deficiency judgment comes in.
Gotcha.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I sell your house to get my money back, and what if your house isn't worth that much? Now, the laws in different states have different rules. So a lot of people like working in foreclosures. You may as well. They have different rules of follow up and procedure when this takes place. But the term you got to know is deficiency judgment. Okay?
Deficiency judgment.
Yeah. What's this one?
I believe that's value.
Good. And the four essential elements of value are?
Stud. Scarcity, transferability, utility, and demand.
Good. What's this one here?
Lending institutions are willing to lower the interest rate in return for extra payment called, I believe, a straight note.
Nope.
So that should be a buy down.
Good. Buy downs when you pay money up front to lower the interest rate. You're actually bringing it down, the amount you're paying. So you pay it up front.
Gotcha.
And here we have the one that started us today.
Severalty. Severalty.
Severalty
So,
means sole ownership. Okay?
well, right.
All right. So concurrent estate is when you own with somebody else. What are two types of concurrent estates?
Two types of concurrent estates. When you let's see. Oh yes, we went over this earlier. I believe it was joint tenancy and tenancy in common.
Good. What's the difference between the two?
Joint tenancy. Sorry, tenancy in common is just possession, and joint tenancy goes with to tip, I believe.
Good. What does TTIP stand for?
Transferability.
No.
No, time, title, interest, and possession.
Good. What else makes joint tenancy joint tenancy?
The fact that if one was to pass on, the others owning the property would have his stake instead of the property going to somebody.
What's that called?
Gosh.
Right of
Possession?
Right of survivorship. Right of survivorship.
Right of survivorship.
Okay.
Gotcha.
This last thing we're going to go over here, I really don't love this definition. I could have done a better job with this one, so let's look at this for a second. I'm going to put a shape out here. Okay?
Okay.
When you get a fully amortized loan, your normal payments, you'll start with an amount of money, and the debt will decrease. Okay? It'll go down. Like that, like this arrow. So you pay it off every month, and it goes down. Okay?
Yes.
What happens with negative amortization?
Negative amortization, the debt goes up.
Like that.
Yes.
So then what happens with a straight note?
Well, when I think of straight, I just think it goes straight across.
Meaning you're only paying the interest.
Really? Okay. So I'm only paying the interest if it's a straight.
So you always owe, let's say you borrow from me $10, I charge you $1 interest a month, you're only paying me $1. And then you'll always owe me that $10.
It's just the interest owed.
Yeah, where a normal loan, I'm charging $1 interest, you pay me $2 a month. That way, the debt goes down every month.
Heard.
Whereas negative amortization, you're only paying 50 cents a month. So your payments don't cover the interest, so the debt goes up. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes, it does. It's a better visual aid and understanding of that.
And all you needed was an arrow.
That's true.
Didn't need a whole lot there. Yeah. So, all right. So we went over a lot of the terms you gave me. So what are you thinking now? Do you want to do this again another time, or is there other questions you want to ask me?
Well, one thing I want to ask you about is Maria.
All
I
right,
still
excellent.
have
Talk
trouble
about that.
understanding it.
Maria. Okay. What would you like to ask me about that?
Well, I know it has nothing to do with what we just discussed, but
That's fine, but it's important. You got to know it.
yeah, I have trouble understanding. Like, it has something to do with I believe it's attachments and fixtures. I believe Maria.
What's personal property?
Personal property belongs to me and goes with me when I move out.
Okay, so it's stuff that's generally movable, right?
Yes, yes.
What's real property?
Real property is what goes with the real estate.
Can personal property become real property?
Personal property can become real property. Well, that's where it gets confusing because I think of trade fixtures when I say yes.
Make it too complicated. So can
Hmm.
personal property become real property?
No.
Yes.
Yes, really.
What's that called when personal property becomes real property?
Fixture, I believe.
That's a fixture. How do
Yes.
you test if something's a fixture?
Is it movable?
And here's where Maria comes in.
Uh,
M,
M's movable.
A,
Adaptive attachment.
yeah, R, no, excuse me, about, it's not movable. It's method.
Method. Attachment.
Nope, nope, nope. You
Um,
messed me up before.
no.
Yeah, you got
Sorry. Sorry.
adaptability.
Sorry. Okay. It's ringing in now. Maria. Method. Adaptability. Relationship to the owner.
Yeah. Okay, relationship. The I is what?
Um, intention to use it.
And the last one is what?
Um, agreement. Okay. A, I didn't get.
Yeah, you got to go over that one for sure. Now, a trade fixture is a fixture that's used for a business office, like a
Business.
dentist chair is the example I use a lot.
Yeah.
Okay? So the trade fixture is a fixture that's used for a business.
Yes.
So personal property that becomes real property is a fixture. And the way you test that is with this term Maria. Okay?
Gotcha.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds awesome.
All right. So I think we're pretty good for today. What do you think?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Really, this helped me out a lot.
Good. So you did some great stuff today. You learned a whole lot. And once again, if you guys want my products, go to prepagent.com and you can find Randall at randallrocket.com to find more about what he's up to. Other
Thank
than
you.
that, thanks everybody. And if you want to leave your comments, leave it below on the YouTube video and talk to you soon.